Hello, welcome to Cracking the Cryptic, and we've got a puzzle from South Korea today by Gugunut, who has actually come third in the World Under-18 Sudoku. Well, at the World Sudoku Championship in the Under-18 category, he's come third. That's a phenomenal performance, by the way. The Under-18 category is far harder, I can tell you, than the over-50 category. All of the podium finishers in the Under-18 would beat all of the over-50s every time. And that's a phenomenal performance. So, Gugunut has come up with his own version of a Sudoku puzzle that involves ambiguities within the grid, and he's really keen to see us give it a go on the channel, and I am keen to give it a go, so that's what we're going to be doing today. First of all, let me remind you that on Patreon we've got our wormy challenge. It's called Regeneration, involves planarian flatworms. It doesn't really need any knowledge of those, it just needs you to split lines into 3 and work out what they mean, so do check that out. It's on Patreon. It's a live reward puzzle until the 20th, and loads of people are entering, which is great. The prize is to do a collaboration with Simon, and much as Tim Dorr has achieved for the previous month. Now, what else we got going on? We've got all our apps which do feature Domino Sudoku, but also Fog of War Sudoku, and the latest is, well, the latest thing we've released are the worms by James Sinclair and Marty Sears, which are absolutely brilliant, and we commend them to you. Sven's Sudoku Pad's also linked in the description field, but the first link is to this puzzle. It's called XV Inequality Sudoku by Gugunut, and I'm going to explain the rules to you and to myself now. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Good news. Adjacent cells containing digits summing to 5 are marked with a V. Well, hang on before understanding the V's. And adjacent cells containing digits summing to 10 are marked with an X. Adjacent cells without a marking must not contain digits summing to 5 or 10. So there is a negative constraint on V's when they mean summing to 5 and X's. And that means, for instance, these two can't sum to 5 or 10. Additionally, some inequality signs are marked between adjacent cells that aren't marked with V or X. So where there's been a cell, like, you can assume that the puzzle constructor has put in the V's and X's for 5s and 10s first, and he's put in all of them. But then he's chosen some other cells to put in inequality signs, and that means that the larger cell is on the kind of split end sign. This is greater than that if this is an inequality sign. It might be a V sign. The inequality signs indicate the relationship between digits in those cells. It's like a greater than or less than sign in maths. Inequality signs are visually identical to the V clues. Of course they are. It's part of the puzzle to distinguish between the two, i.e. to work out which of these apparent V's are V's in the 5 sense and which of them are inequality signs. It's a lovely idea. We can rely on the fact that X would be marked between any pair of 10s. It's clear from the rules that's not going to get overridden by a V. So there is no ambiguity in the rules, there is just ambiguity in the signs in the grid. Give it a try. It seems a bit terrifying to me, but let's see what we've got. Let's get cracking. So, obviously column 1 and 9 are fully populated. Column 9 could be kind of a thermo all the way, running 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That would be allowed, but that could get broken up by genuine V's. Column 1 can't be a single thermo because one of these digits must be high and one of them must be low on the X. What does that mean for column 1? Is column 1 more helpful than column 9? It probably isn't, because column 9 is so consistent. There's also row 4 and 5, by the way, which have V's, but if those were all inequality signs, we would know exactly where 9 went in this row, it would be there, and we'd know where 1 went in this row, it would be there. But they might not be. And there are boxes in which, somewhere in this box, there has to be a 5, and it's not on the X, and it must be on an inequality sign. I suppose it's quite fatuous to say that a lot of these V's must be inequality signs. They might all be inequality signs. Okay, I'm missing how to start this. You've probably understood what we could do to get going. I suppose, right, let's take that thought about 9s specifically. 1s are less useful because I was left thinking about 1s in this row and going, oh, but they could sit on the V's with a 4 beneath them. But the 9s is interesting. So anywhere that is on the underside of a V cannot be a 9. Because not only can it not be in a V sum that adds to 5, it also can't be lower than the digit above. So I'm going to colour the cells I can see that are on the underside of a V. Let's make them all yellow. Oh, I see. Oh, I'm so dumb. Right, the perfectly simple question is, where does 9 go in column 9? Oh, it's lovely actually. Right, 9 goes here because what I just said is right. You can't have a 9 on the underside of a V because it couldn't, that V that it was on could not be fulfilled with a different digit above. So that's a 9. Now I can see where you put 9 in column 1 because Sudoku rules 9 out of that cell. 9 is there, and on the X we get a 1. Okay. Now, it's good that I did this colouring because now I understand, in fact, maybe I said this aloud, that in row 5, I said if these were all inequality V's, you could only put a 9 there. That's what I said. I should maybe have thought immediately, but you can't have a 9 in any of those even if they're 5 V's. So the 9 in row 5 is there. So there's a start. So the 9 in row 6 is on this X. So I know that goes with a 1. Now what does that tell me about 1s? Not so much, because 1s can be on the top side of V's, like here, or here, or here. As long as the bottom side is a 4, this could go 1, 4, 3, and that would be fine running down. Okay, it's a very simple conversion in column 9 at least. I don't think this is going to work in column 1, but we've placed the 9. Where does 8 go? Obviously, the only thing it can go under on a V is 9. And all of these dominoes have a V. So that must be 8. And then where does 7 go? Where does 6 go? Where even does 5 go? Then we have to stop, because 4 could be on a V with a 1 down here. This digit can't be a 1 because of that 1-9 pair, but it's 2, 3, or 4. And how do these break up? They could break up into 2 V's of 5, there and there. And as long as that digit was higher than that one, this one's always going to be higher than that one, then these will be fulfilled. Or they could just run down in thermosequence order 4, 3, 2, 1. And I think there are various permutations in between. Okay, where's 9 in box 1? It's in one of those cells. 9 in box 2 is in one of those. Now, I'd love to take the question about 8, 7, 6, 5 over to column 1, but I don't think it's so straightforward. 8 could go at the top of the column or under the 8. 7 could go in either of those positions or under the 8 and therefore into one of those. And I don't think they're ruled out by read across or anything. Okay, 8 in this box must be on a V, and it can't, must be on an inequality sign, and it can't be on the bottom side. So 8's at the top. I was going to say 7 is as well, but 7 could sit below the 8. Then I was going to say that 3 in this box must be on the bottom side of a V, but actually, of course, it could be there, and it could be on the top side of a V on top of a 2. Oh, goodness. Okay, I don't know about 2s, 3s, and 4s. I don't know why, actually. I was thinking 3 had to be in one of those cells. It doesn't. Ah, hang on. 8 can't be in these cells. Where's 8 in the middle box? Because we've placed 8 in one of those two. It can't be there. I don't think 8 can be in either of these cells because the V on their north side would have to be an inequality sign, but we're not allowed to put 9 there. So 8's in the bottom row, and the same is going to be true about these V cells. So actually we get to place 8. Now this X at the bottom is either a 7-3 or a 6-4 pair because 9 and 8 have been ruled out. Oh, 1. 1 is in one of those cells, so 1 can't be here. And it can't be here by Sudoku. It can't be here because of the X. This can't be a 9. So 1 is in one of these 3 cells. And if it's not there, then it's on top of a V, but that's okay because that can have a 4 beneath it and be a 5 style V. This is quite a difficult puzzle to get your head around, actually. I mean, I've got 8 digits in the grid in 8 minutes, 9 digits in 8 minutes, but still, I don't really think I've got a feel for it. We've got this negative constraint as well. Am I meant to be able to use that somehow? It doesn't seem to be doing anything. X's can't be, well, you can't have 10 pairs. So if, oh, you can't have 5s next to each other horizontally. So if that was a 1, this couldn't be a 4. Or they would have a V between them. I mean, there are no horizontal V's in the puzzle, but that's because there can't be. Oh, okay, where's 1 in the central box? That's nice. 1 is ruled out of those cells by Sudoku because of that 1-9 pair. But it's also ruled out of those cells by a lack of X's. And that's quite interesting. That means 1 is in one of these two. And the digit it's above on the V must be a 4 on a 5 style V. And then the digit below the 4, I don't know how to pencil mark it, is going to be a 2 or a 3 because you can't have another 5 style V in the same column. You're going to have a 2 or a 3 there. So on one side of this box, you've got 1, 4, and 2 or 3. And, oh, where's the 7 in the box? That's a simple question. I should have asked that first, perhaps. The 7 can't be here because the V above it would have to be an inequality sign. You can't put 8 or 9 there. And the same goes for all these 4 yellow cells. 7 is sitting somewhere here in the box. Might be there. Now, that means 7 is in one of these cells in box 6, definitely under an 8. What does that mean for the other 2 cells? Not a lot. Oh, hang on, we've said 4 can't be in those. I hadn't seen that. But 4 could be there, and this could, one of these that isn't 8, 7 could be a 2, 3 sign either way up. Okay, 6 also can't be there. Where's 6 in this box? Right, I now know it can't be in either of these cells because it would need a higher digit above it on the V, and 7 is confined to those. So 6 is definitely in one of these two along with a 4. And the digit above them in each case is a 1 for the 4, because wherever the 1 is here, it needs a 4 beneath it. And it's a 7 for the 6, because wherever the 6 is, it needs a 7 above it. So that's a weird triple. This is a 2, 3, 5 triple, but 2 can't be sitting next to 8, or you'd get an X. So that's a 2. It's very strange, this. Now, the digits we're selecting from here are not 1, 2, 7, 6, 9, or 8. So they are from 3, 4, or 5. But that doesn't necessarily mean these are low. Yes, it does. Does it? Yes, it does. Because even if those are on a V, it does. It does. Because even if these are on a V, they are 3 or 4, and these digits are 1 or 2 in that case. And if they're inequality signs, these digits are from 1, 2, 3, 4, but they can't be 4. So these are definitely from 1, 2, or 3. This digit is on an X, and it can't be 9 or 8, and it's on an X with 1, 2, or 3. So that's a 7. This is a 3. None of these are 3s now. This is an inequality V. This one doesn't really matter. The only way it could be a... Well, we can treat it as an inequality V. I mean, it could be a 4 on a 1. But we just don't know. Now, 8 in this box is fixed. These other digits in the box, there can't be 1. So 1 in the box is fixed. So these other digits are a 2, 6 pair. 8, 2, by the rules, cannot sit next to each other, even vertically, even on an inequality sign, because there would be an X. That's what the rules said. So that's a 6. That's a 2. 2 can't sit next to 3, or there'd be a horizontal V. Oh, brilliant. This is so clever. This is so clever. I love this. 1, 4, 3. Now, these two cells have become 2 and 7. I like it when it becomes Sudoku. These are 8 and 3. I'm not missing any negative constraint V's and X's, am I? Not that I can see. Oh, but now, hang on. Yes, 2 and 3, they're mandated by these rows. So that's a 4. Yes, sorry, that's very obvious. Right, 4 can't sit next to 1, or there'd be a horizontal V, the only one. So that's 9 and that's 1. Oh, and that still doesn't resolve these. Now, these digits are a 1, 2, 3 triple. Do I know any more about how they fall out? Yes. This one can't be a 1. It would be fine for the V there and the V there, but in between you'd have to have a 1 above 2 or 3. Actually, this one can't be a 1 for the same sort of reason. On one, well, actually, it couldn't be a 5V on either side, and it certainly can't be both inequalities. So 1 has got forced into the corner, if I've done that right. I think I have. But these could be either way round. This could be a 3 below a 2, and that it just needs that middle V to be a 5V. That's so strange. This one column that looks like it's somehow unambiguous, and it may yet resolve as a full descent all the way down, but we can't tell there. Now, what about column 1, where we were doing such good stuff earlier? I don't know. Well, okay, I do know. I know something. I know something quite big. I know where 7 goes in the column. I do. It can't go here under the 6. If it went in either of these, the V above it would have to be an inequality V, and that couldn't be fulfilled. And the same is true here. It's quite straightforward when you think of it. Okay, I don't need all the yellow colouring anymore, although it was quite helpful, if I'm honest. In fact, everything else in this column to be placed is obviously 2, 3, 4, or 5. Now, down here, the only possible 5 pair you could have is a 2, 3 pair. Well, they couldn't sit here and here. What I'm trying to do is take 2 or 3 out of this cell. I'm just not sure. I don't think 2 and 3 could sit here and here, because this would be a 4 or a 5, and it couldn't have the right relationship with that cell. Actually, there we go then. This can't be 4 or 5 down here. That has to be 2 or 3, because it can't have... No, hang on. It could be 4 under a 5, but then that would be another V. No, that won't work. So it can't be 4, and this can't be 5 at all, because it can't have the right relationship with the cell above. It's so strange, but I can't rule 2 out of this cell, I don't think. Now, has this got more fixed? No. One, 4, 3. What's going on here? Oh, 1 has to now be on these V's, but it can be on the top side. Seven is in one of those 2 cells in box 2. It can't be here, because that V would have to be an inequality V, but the top cell can't be 8 or 9. So we've found 7. I was going to say, oh, that can't be next to 3, but that only affects, well, I suppose it affects those 2 cells. This 3 was already ruled out of certain cells here. 2, 9, 8. So we need a 7 in this central column. It can't be here, because that would be a 3 on the X, and that would clash. So the 7 is in this X. It's a 7, 3X. 2, 9, 8. So everything else in the column is 1, 4, 5, or 6. I'm sorry, I am down, reduced to pencil marking because I just can't quite understand. This can't be a 5 on the X. It also can't be a 6, because we've had a 4 in this column. So that is a 1 or a 4. This, that's interesting in a moment. This is 9 or 6, by virtue of that being 1 or 4. But the reason I'm finding that interesting is it means this V cannot be a 5V. It has to be an inequality V, because we've used 2 in the column. If this was a 5V, it would have to be 1, 4, and that would break this cell. So this is higher than the cell below, which takes out the extremes. 9 can't be here next to 1, because there's no X. It's sometimes a little hard to spot these inequalities. Do forgive me if I'm faffing around. Actually, look, 5 in this box is down here. In fact, there's more to that. All of 9, 7, 6, 5 have to be in this group of cells, and only one of them can be here. Yeah, I think this has to be a 5, 6, 9 triple. Yeah, okay, here's a simpler way of seeing that. 6 in the central column's in one of those cells. So these digits can't be 9, 7, or 6. So in this column, where do 9 and 6 go? They go in these 3 cells along with 5. So that is a 5, 6, 9 triple. With 3, 7, that leaves 1, 2, 4, 8 as possibles in this column. And 2 and 8 are definitely here. So these are selected from 1, 3, 4. They can't be a 1, 4 pair, because they would have a V between them. But anyway, by Sudoku, we need a 3 amongst them. It's quite difficult getting your head around the fact that not all inequality V's are given, but all 5-style V's are given. That strikes me as not easy to get used to. And apologies if it is. Now, this is a 2-8 pair. That's definite. And the negative constraint rule doesn't seem to be helping that out at all. X's. X's have been quite useful. I haven't really been using them fully. I think I'm done with them now, though. That's an inequality V. That one is as good as... There's definitely a 9 in one of these. Oh gosh, I don't know what to do next. This can't be, this is an inequality V again, but it's not a very exciting one, I don't think. It can't be a 5 style V because 1, 2, and 3 have gone in the box. What about this? We need a 7 in this box in one of those cells, and a 1. We need a 1 on this V. I want to say that it can't be here, but if it was, this would be a 4, and these would go 5, 3, 2, or even 5, 2, 3, and I just don't know. Oh, that's so annoying. Right, there might be a 1 there. That can't be a 1 because of no X with the 9. Oh, I'll tell you what. No, I was going to say this can't be a... Well, it's true that this can't be a 5, 4 V because 4 would touch 6. But actually, that doesn't mean I can rule out either 5, which could sit above a 1, or 4. Well, no, I can rule out 4 from here because 6 is in one of those cells and there's no X. So that's not a 4. That is 1 or 5. And that's 1 or 4. Oh gosh, okay, I'm sorry. This can't be 3 because there's no X. It can't be 4. Oh, it could be 4 because there is possibly a V right here. Oh, bother. This can't be 4 because there's no X. Now 4 is either there or there in the column. 9 can't be here because there's no 1. So 9's in one of those two. Sorry, because there's no X with the 1. That's what I meant. It's not what I said. 1, 2, 3, 9. So everything else from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, am I missing a big old negative constraint issue? I bet I am now. Because they've been doing all the heavy lifting and I'm very poor at spotting them. Oh, I was going to get excited about where 8 goes in this row, but it can easily be on a V under a 9. Oh, goodness. 3 is down here somewhere. 3 is confined to those cells and those cells. So if I could just take it out of one of these cells, well, okay. Yes, I can take it out of this cell, I think. If this was a 3, this would have to be a 2 by either means of the V, whether it was a 5 style V or a greater than V, and then this would be broken. So this is not a 3. So now I've definitely got a 3 in column 1 there, and a 3 in column 5 there, and there's an X-wing on 3s, and this digit becomes a 2. And now the final column does descend all the way, but it's taken me ages to find out. Right, I can take 2 out of those cells, and this cannot be a 2 now, because that would have to be a 5 style V with a 3 here, and that would be broken. So that's a 5. This isn't 5. It's even. Okay, that's as much as I could do there. This isn't 5 now. That's not very exciting here. I mean, I'm attritionally now working away at individual cells. Quite hard work for very little gain. Feeling very dumb. Okay, if this was a 4, we've got problems. I think we've got problems then, because these are a 1, 5, 6 triple in that case. If this is a 4, this wouldn't be able to be a 6. That is the point. Oh, but this would. 4, 5, 1, 6, 3. No, okay, that was a blind alley. I was wrong about what that might do. 1 is confined to one of those cells. That's actually, this is a quite interesting point. If that's a 1, this is a 4. It's the only place it can go in the box without creating a V that isn't there. If this is a 1, 4 can be in either of those two. Hang on, so if this is a 1, 4 is there. I think what I'm working to is this can never be a 4. Yeah, that's quite interesting. This couldn't be a 1 because of the V rule. So that would go 4, 5, 6, and this would be broken. So this is a 3. That's quite difficult to spot, if I'm honest. And it may not even have done anything, which will be incredibly annoying, but it is quite possible. 5 and 6 are definitely in these cells. We've known that forever. 9, 3, 7, 8. Okay, this is 2, 4, 5, or 6. This one is 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. As you can see, I'm getting excited about pencil marks now because there's not much else I'm feeling able to do, if I'm brutally honest. I'd like to resolve this pair. Could it be a 4, 6 pair? That seems like the harder thing. Two and 8 can't touch each other down here because they'd need an X. But they're both in these 3 cells. They have to be chaperoned by something in the middle. So they have to sit on the outsides there. That is a 2, 8 pair. And now we've got a weird 1, 4 pair. We've got a sort of 1 X-wing that we don't need. That can't be a 7 because there's no V, no X with the 3. How can it take me this long to spot even that simple little fact of life? I don't know. That's 6 or 8. If this was 8, 7, one of these V's is 8, 7. If it was here, that would be 6. This would be 5 or 4. Ooh, this, if that was 8, 7, this would be a 6, 5, 4 triple because it would say 8, 7, 9, 3, 2, 1. And then 3, 2, 1 would be up here, and this would be 4, 5, 6, and there is no problem with that at all. Ah! I feel so inadequate matched against the puzzle now. It's probably very easy steps. 7 is in one of these cells. 3 is over there. They can never touch. Three is in one of those cells, and 3 is there. The 3 in box 1 is in one of those two. Now, it mustn't be sitting next to the 2. That's not very interesting. There's also a 3 to place in one of those in box 3. 7, 1, 9, 3. So these are from 2, 4, 5, 6, 8. 7, 3, 8, 9. The 1 in the row is in one of those 2 cells. Sorry, I'm really painfully struggling now. This can't be a 3 by the rule. Oh, hang on, what happens here? If this was a 3, that's 8, and therefore this is 7. And this is 2, and this is 3. Oh, Oh, okay. If that's a 3, it forces a 2 into here. And then there's a 2 on this V. Right. Perfect. That works. Right. If this was a 3, that would force this V to be 3, 2. That would force 2 to be in one of these cells. It couldn't sit above a 3 without a V in between them. And it couldn't sit there because this couldn't be a 5 style V or indeed a greater than V. So 3 can't sit here. It must sit here. No, I've got that entirely the wrong way around. It can't sit there because of the 7. It must sit up here somewhere, which actually is a little less valuable. But that does place it in box 1 there. Now, under that 3 in this box must be either a 2 or a 1 by either style of V. And that's going to be in a different column from the 3, 2 that must appear in box 6. So we've either got 3 and a 1 or a 2 there and 3, 2, 1 here, or 3, 2 there and 3, 2 here. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what that means. Oh, bother. Right. Where's 8 in this row? It could be there. I felt like it really did mean something, and I didn't get whatever it meant out of it. 3, 2, 1, 9. Goodness, Mark, come on. I don't know. Getting a 3 here I thought was going to help, but it doesn't. It keeps 2 out of that cell. Is that of any use? That puts 2 in one of those. I don't think that is of any use. Oh, hang on. This can't be 2 because that couldn't be fulfilled either as a 5V or a greater than. So 2's in one of those 2 cells. Now I know this can't be 8 because there's no X. That's exciting. Not. 8 goes in one of those 2 cells because we've got this 8 as well. Oh, we already knew 8 couldn't be there. But anyway, 8. No, I think I'm wrong about saying 8's in one of those 2 because why couldn't 8 be here? Okay, dangerous conclusion. Things have not gone well there. Right. That V is a definite inequality. We know that. Oh yes, we were saying if this was 8, 7, that would be 6 and a low digit. This would be 6, 5, 4 we were working out, and this would be a 3, 2, 1 set. I'd forgotten all that. So in that case, this couldn't be 2. It would go 3, 1, 2. Because the 3 would have to go there and this 1 would decide what this was. So if that's 8, 7, this goes 3, 1, 2. And this goes, that would have to, oh my goodness, okay, bingo, this doesn't work, but it's quite complicated. So follow this through with me. If that was an 8, 7 pair, then the 1, 2, 3 in this column would have to be up here. We know that 3 is confined to those cells, so that would be 3. And that 1 says that the 1 would have to be here. So this would go 3, 1, 2. Now we've got 4, 5, 6 here. What could sit here next to the 1? Not 4 because of the V that's missing. Not 6 because of this V or this inequality sign here. And not 5 because 1, 5 there would break that cell. Wow. So this is not 8, 7. That is a complicated deduction. If that's on the solution path, my goodness, it's hard. Anyway, 8, 7 are there. 1 of 8 or 7 is going to have to go on this V down here because 8 and 7 have to fit into those 3 cells. You can only get 1 of them into there. So at least one of these is 8 or 7, and that's always going to mean this cell must be 8. Because it's either 8 itself or that's 7 and then that's 8. Right, that gives me a 2, 8 pair here. That puts 8 in one of these 2 cells. Okay, look. 8 is in one of those two cells. It's not here because this V would have to require a 9 up here. But we've got to put 1 in one of those two cells. So we'd fail to do that. So the 8 is not here. This is the 8. Then we've got an 8 in one of these 3 cells, but we've got 8 over here. So 8's in one of those two. And what does that mean? I don't know. Okay, but we've got some action. So that 871, we've got a 1 that can't, I was going to say it can't be here. It definitely can't be here. So it's on this V, the 1. But it could be in that cell. There'd be a 4 here. There'd be a 3 there and a 2 here. And this would be a 5-6 pair. And that works. Ah! Otherwise, the 1 is here, and that's a 5, and that's a 6, and that's a 4, and that's a 1. I suppose I've just learnt this is never a 5, because if that's a 1, this is a 4, 3 is here, and that has to be 2. And if this is a 1, that's a 5, so this can never be 5. I mean, that's a slow, hard lesson. This digit, C, is 139728. That is 4, 5, or 6, like that one. What about this? 17893. Now, this could, in theory, be a 2. In practice, it can't, because that would put an 8 here, and there'd have to be an X between them. So we've got a 4, 5, 6 triple in the row. That is not a 2, because it's sitting next to a 3 without a V. So this is 8. The V above it must be an inequality, giving us a 9. This has become a 2. That's an 8. Come on now. Finish it off. This is not a V, not a 5 style V, because 2 can't sit next to 3. In fact, no, I was going to say where's 2 in the row, not that interesting. 9, 8, 7 are there. Oh, goodness. You just have to reset your mind every time. This is 4, 5, or 6 by Sudoku, and they all obey the inequality rule. Can that still be 2? Yes, I think it can. Can I find another of 4, 5, 6 in this column? We've still got a 9 to place in this column, and that's now part of a 7, 9 pair down here. There's no markings, but that's all right. This is therefore from 4, 5, or 6 at the top. We've got 2 of them in the top row. I just can't get my head around it all. 2, 5, 8, 3. That's a 10 pair. This digit is 4, 6, or 9. So 7 in this row has to be in one at 7. This is the only place for 7 in row 7. And that was basically Sudoku. Ugh. That's not 9. This isn't 9. That wasn't 9. That's why I haven't pencil marked this as 9, because that's a 1. So this is 9 now. And that's 9 in row 7. That goes with a 1 on the X. That feels like it's going to do some action. 5, 6, 4, 1. That gives me 1 here in the cell where I didn't really want to find it, but that's fine. This can't be 5 anymore. This can't be 6. In this row, this is 4 or 6. It's not 1. The 1 in the box is there. That's now a 4. This can't be 9. I'm going to take the corner mark out of there. 4 is looking across at a 3 here. And whatever sort of V this is, that's a 2 below it in the corner. 4, 6, 5. I thought I'd suddenly got a clash, but I haven't. 2 there. Fixes 5 and 4 here. That's 4 or 6. This is a 3, 4 pair. That takes 4 out of these. It puts 2 there. Oh, I don't know how to resolve that or this. What about this? Oh no, that's been fixed, 7 and 3. This is now 5 or 6. That's 4, 5 or 6. We've got the last 7 in the grid, done. 3 is looking up to the last 3 in the grid. These are all obeying the rules. In fact, those are obeying both rules, both possible rules. 5, 6, something here is, right, 1 can't be next to 4, or there'd be a V between them. Oh, goodness me. It's so clever. It's really neat, but it does your head in a bit. That's taken me 41 minutes, and it feels like I've done about 5 minutes of deductions amongst all of that. And 36 minutes of thinking the wrong stuff. Oh, it's clever. That's good work, Guggenheim. I enjoyed that. But I'd hate to see it turn up at a World Sudoku Championship, because it would take me that full 41 minutes, I imagine, and that would waste the whole round on one quite high-pointed value puzzle. But wow. Amazing stuff. Really enjoyable, but very, very unusual with the ambiguous rule. Great fun. Thank you for watching us on the channel, and I hope to see you again soon. We'll be back tomorrow with more Sudoku. Bye for now.